Today on my channel, Planner Friends, I'm going to talk to you about expensive planners versus inexpensive planners. I want to go through and kind of evaluate what I've been using, and I want to share my thoughts with you about, 2025, right? We're heading into the fall planner launch season, and I'm approaching this year very, very differently. And yeah, I think part of it is due to this fun little day designer mini from Target. It's really made me rethink what I'm doing here. So let's have a chat. Pull up a cup of tea or sweet tea, or I have some iced tea here. Pull up some coffee and let me chat with you, friends. Stay tuned. Hello, planner friends, and welcome to my channel. I'm One Crafty Dolo. I'm really happy you're here with me today. Thank you. Thank you for taking your time and spending it with me. Today, as I said in the intro, we're going to talk about planner brands, expensive planners, inexpensive planners. These are just some thoughts, so let's chat. If you're new, join my growing community. I try to foster a happy, creative space on the internet. I love this channel. I'm having fun with it, and my goal is to always inspire you. If you're returning, thank you. Thank you for the gift of your time. So I want to talk about some of the planners I've used, I'm using. Inexpensive. I don't really use expensive planners. Let me put that out there right now. But I think I've mentioned this in a few videos, but this whole takeoff of this little day designer mini available from Target and people embracing it. This is kind of a moment now, and I've talked about it already, and I'm going to talk a little more, not to bore you. But I want to compare and contrast some of the brands I use and just talk, shall we? So let's talk. This seems to always be a big thing in the community. I don't know why, but Happy Planner versus Erin Condren Planner. Different price points, certainly, different products, but these are mine, and I'm going to share with you what I like, what I don't like. So these are 3 Erin Condren planners I've used. This is an older one, and I'm currently using. I like the Erin Condren brand. I used this. This was from 2022, and you can see in here I inked. I gave this paper a workout. I'm a very creative planner. These are stencils and more inks and so forth. So I love to create in these spaces. I like to use markers, stickers. I really give these planners a workout. And so this was my first Erin Condren. It's an A5, and I really enjoyed it. I think it worked well for me. It was on the higher end of what I want to spend, and obviously the paper is something that everybody raves about. This year, I am using these 2 for different purposes. This daily planner, this is like the thing I didn't expect to enjoy so much. I'm using it as a prayer journal. And I really love this space. I'm creative in here. I carry it around with me. I can see why people would enjoy using this. I don't know that it's as wildly popular as their other products, but I like it. It's a decent price point. You can put in different journals. I had an old gratitude journal in here that I used up, so I had this from Plum Paper. So I just decorated it up. But the paper, you can see this paper stands up. Even the Plum Paper stands up. But I like this space. It's been good for me. And this is an A5 ring binder from Erin Condren. Look, it's lovely. I, as always, decorated it. This is stood up to inking and markers and so forth. It's a good place. This I'm also using for a faith study. I'm going to be honest with you, though. I love the paper, I love the feel, but it's expensive. And at this moment, like many of us, I'm feeling maybe not so much the expensive planners anymore. So when I say that I'm reviewing expensive planners, I'm looking for next year, I don't know, unless there's an extraordinary deal, that I'm going to pick up another one of these. I liked the space. This I can't imagine carrying around. This is a really awkward binder, and I know they've redesigned it, but no, I think I will buy another one of these next year for a prayer journal. I'm not going to get another one of these. So as much as I like them, you know what? I'm not having the expensive planner moment. And yes, for me, over $50, I consider an expensive planner. So these are my happy planners. And I used to look at people using all kinds of planners. I'm like, what are you doing? Different purposes. And it had been a while since I'd used a happy planner. Now this is a Happy Notes cover that I put on a planner. It cost me $10. I've rearranged some of the inserts. I use this for goal planning for this channel. I'm probably going to go back to it next month. I bought this from Amy Tangerine off of Amazon, and you can see it worked great in here, and I stamped. This planner cost me $10. The A5s I just showed you, I picked them up at discounts, but they're like 4 to 5 times the price of this. And look at this. I have paint. This is glitter paint, okay? I have stamping. I do inking in here, and it's not bleeding. So the $10 planner is not bleeding like the $50 planner is not bleeding. But this was $10. Now I picked it up in February after the season. I used a coupon as well, so that's why it was so inexpensive. More glitter paint. I don't know if you can see it trailing along here. But this was, I repeat, even if it was $20, that's less than half the cost of the others. This one was an impulse, mostly because I'm about butterflies, and I've turned it into this creative journaling space, faith journaling. And again, I'm going crazy. I've rediscovered Happy Planner, but I've rediscovered my creative side. So that $40 saved, or $20 or $30 saved in buying one of these, I can spend it on other things if I want, or I can just save the money because, as you know, grocery prices are hideous. So I'm using this really happily, and I'm kind of proud of myself for expanding my creative horizons. Whoops, glitter paint gets in the way, right? I'm just having fun in here. And then this was really the first one I picked up, again, butterflies, but this is I'm doing a study on women of the Bible. It's a different study. And I'm learning, I'm growing. I love horizontal layouts. I know I'm in the minority there, but I'd used a butterfly happy planner as a second faith study for 2023. I'm using this in 2024. So what's the upshot for next year? I would like to find another horizontal for a faith study. Obviously, this was a July start, so I'm going to continue creating in here. Am I going to use another goal planner like this one? I don't know yet, but I'll tell you what. I am in the space now where I am going to purchase this ahead of something more expensive. And, we all have our moments. I don't cart these around, so that's also part of the thing for me. I'm not taking this everywhere. This stays at home. I don't take it out. And so that makes it certainly a lot easier. If I was carting this around, I missed 2 weeks. I can attach that video below. But now, look at this. I'm using stencil butter. I'm using glitter paint. I'm using markers, and it did stipple a little bit because the stencil butter is so thick. But look at this. It's great. It's not bleeding. It's not ghosting anything. So I don't know what I'm going to do as far as goal planning next year. This is definitely staying, and I think I will find something else similar to this maybe. On this one, I love the Erin Condren paper. I had my Erin Condren moment, but not going to spend the money, friends. Sure, I'll do the petite planner seemingly. I'm still not sure yet, but if I buy anything, that's what I'll buy. So let's talk about ring planners, inexpensive, slightly more expensive. I've yet to purchase a very expensive ring planner. It's just not what I do. This, I have a whole set of Carpe Diem Personals. I use them for a long time. I'm saving them right now, just in case. You see, I have a thing for this plaid, right? This I've kept in my old faith planning in here. And these are Carpe Diem inserts. It's a Carpe Diem planner. And I've got to tell you, this paper is also not expensive. And let's look at this stamp down here. Nothing's bleeding. It's not bleeding. It's not ghosting. The only problem I have with the Carpe Diem binders, which I do love, don't get me wrong, their price point's phenomenal. I mean, I think I picked this one up for like $10. The only problem I have is sometimes the rings get hinky. And so I'm careful with them. Again, more Carpe Diem inserts, and they held up. For the price point, I think they're great. I like them as a planner brand. This past year, I picked up a few Filofaxes. I'd used a pocket Filofax. I have a small Finsbury I picked up. I used that. Then I found this and this and this. These were all bargains on Amazon. This was just kind of a cute little, isn't it adorable? I love this thing. I was doing some gratitude journaling. Let's try that again. I have some planning in here, not as much as I probably should have, but I played with it a bit and it was good. And then there were weeks I used it. There were weeks I didn't. I took out some of the inserts in here. This is their Good Vibe collection. Obviously, I have a thing. I'm always consistent, right? And I picked up an A5 during Prime Days in this navy. I like this binder, but it cost me under $25. Would I have paid the regular 50-some dollars? No, I probably would not have. The rings are tighter than the Carpe Diems. Sometimes the rings are kind of small, especially in like the personal size. You can see here. I set this up. I don't know if I'm using it for September. I didn't date it yet, but I set it up. And I don't like the Filofax inserts, quite frankly, because they don't have lines on them. The upshot for me is this is a great space. I'm using it. I'm happy with it. I have to update my habit tracking. But the truth of the matter is you can get away with inexpensive binders unless you feel you need something more expensive. One of the things I do like about this is the dual pen clips. Going into next year, what am I going to use? I don't know yet. I have new binders for the fall and then for the winter, but I'm honestly thinking I may, instead of like the Erin Condren Faith Study, I may use it in some of the Filofax. I don't know yet. I'm thinking about carrying around personal planners again. But I will tell you this, I'm not going to spend a lot. I go back on Amazon, I'll stalk a product until I see the price comes way down. You do you. I know people spend hundreds of dollars on some of these, but yeah, I'm going to go, this is an upgrade. In fact, though, truthfully, okay, this one I think, like I said, was $10. I think full price for this one was like almost $40 or $44.95. I had gotten it at a discount. But the point is, I always will choose bargain and, we just go from there. I could definitely see myself sticking with a ring planner next year. I may play with the sizes, but the truth is I like the flexibility. I like that you can create, add into it, create it a little bit more than a spiral or what have you. But yeah, friends, if you want to buy an expensive one, buy an expensive one. But definitely I'm going to err on the side of the bargains next year. So here we have inexpensive versus expensive. This is the one most expensive planner that I picked up for a special purpose, and I'll explain that in a minute. You'll notice this is the same check that I have in the other binders. Isn't that kind of funny? I'm consistent, like I said. I did, for once in my life, I'm on a trend, and that's this little Day Designer Mini. And then I have this adorable little mini composition book in here for a brain dump. This was $6.99, which I didn't pay for because I had rewards from Target. I love this space. I love the fact that it seems like I'm going, I mean, I know it's not as, it's spiral. I can create things for in here and I may do that, but I'm adding in different things. I think this is a good space for carrying it around and a reminder to me that I don't need expensive planners, that I can use what I've got, or if I'm picking something up. And it's got me really thinking about what I want to do for next year. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I am really rethinking next year as far as things. I may use a ring binder. Am I going to use a happy planner, or am I going to go small? I love the portability of this. I love that I carry it around with me. I just ordered another pen loop to put in here because I have this one. I mean, right now I'm just tucking it in here. This bargain planner is a good space. And again, it's got me thinking about next year, and maybe I do want to go small for next year, for more so than I've done this year. Maybe the portability is just what I need, and saving the money so I can, you know, spend it elsewhere, save it, whatever. But things have just, it's been hard, and this was a good reminder of the joy of finding a bargain. This is an Aura Estelle passport. I didn't make a rash decision in buying it. Let me explain. They released them in 2023, and then they re-released in 2024. So this is the second release, which is a little larger than the first iteration. I didn't want to pick up a regular, they had these Annie Plans, Aura Estelle in conjunction with Annie Plans, these booklets. These are not planners. These are just graph paper. I'm not completely sold on the Tomoe River paper because it's, you see, I like to decorate and create, but I am doing that in here just differently. It's just really thin. I'm using this. I don't know exactly what I expected when I ordered these. I'm closing in on the first one here, but let me tell you something. I elected to use this as a journaling space to process difficult things. I wish for you that we didn't go through difficulties. I wish for you that you have a good and easy enough life and you don't hurt, but we do. Oh gosh, we just do. And people are rough and people are difficult. And, you know, whether it's traumas, whether it's hurt, whether it's loss, whether it's grief, whether it's frustration. So I created this journal, and I didn't have the words initially. So I started to put down quotes. I went to Sylvia Plath because she's brilliant, a little bit dark, but brilliant. And when I don't have the words, I use someone else's. And I created a beautiful space, and then my words started to come. And so I'm using this to heal. I'm using this for going through things and processing them, as I like to say. And this space has been really good. I do feel a little limited by the way the paper is. By the same token, I think I'm doing nicely. I'm using stickers I have on hand. I'm using stencils, as you can see. I'm loving how this turned out. This is the most expensive planner I own. Would I buy it again? Well, I have this, so I don't need to. I'm going to continue to use this. My goal, I'm sure I'll finish this, you know, maybe this will be fall, maybe winter. I'll see how. I'm just going to continue to use it. Will I get another cover? I don't know that I will. If something comes up, I may. I feel like in the end, I'm glad I spent the money on this, but I also could have spent less. Okay. So this is the one expensive and the inexpensive, and oddly enough, I think they go well together. For next year, I know everybody's, you know, what am I going to do? Oh, let me show you real quick. Hold on. I have these two, which I picked up on Mercari. This is beautiful, isn't it? And I created journaling spaces in these, and these worked as well. These were good spaces for me. I didn't use other people's words. I used my own, and I just, you know, wrote in them, and, you know, it was really good. I used inexpensive stickers in here. So journaling spaces don't have to be expensive. They can be anything that you really want, you know? And so, yeah, I Macquarie is always a good place to go to. This is a really, I would love to get another one of, this is Prima Marketing. I took the stuff out while I left this in here. Oops. But again, this is a Prima Traveler's Journal. I don't know that they make them anymore. I think there's a few floating around. So I'm going to be a little more cost conscious going into next year. I'm going to reuse some of these. I'm going to see what I can do to keep my costs down. This is, oddly enough, been just what I needed at this time to remind me that I don't have to use Erin Condren. I don't have to use Happy Planner. I don't have to use anything other than what I need at that moment. And if I change things up because I do have different binders, that's not a bad thing either. I like to be creative in these spaces. So I like inexpensive planners. As I said, this is the more expensive. I'm thinking small for next year. I'm thinking compact. I'm thinking about simplifying. That seems to be a word I keep coming back to. And I don't know, maybe it's just the season that I'm in right now. Simplifying life, simplifying our home, simplifying a lot of things. Anyway, so those are my thoughts on inexpensive, expensive. And again, this was one treat. Truthfully, this was like a birthday gift, and I only picked it up. I'd been hawking it, looking at it. I'm one of those. I look. They had a Aura Estelle starter kit with their tote bag, and in fact, this pen and this highlighter came with that. And you got so many things: a scarf, a tote, a this, a that. I did pick that up, and that's when I ended up splurging. That was kind of my birthday gift to myself. So I'm going to be parsimonious next year. Will I get back into spirals because of this? It could happen, I guess. I guess it could. I like the rings, but you know what? You never know. And I would like, as I said, to get back into these little notebooks. I think these are great. And I have a bunch of pocket planners. So I don't know how much I'm buying for next year, but I'm telling you right now, I'm keeping costs down. And I hope, as always, to inspire you. And, you know, here we go into the fall planner release season. I'm not going to go crazy buying, though. All right, friends, thanks for being here with me and listening to me yammer on. I do appreciate you. As always, as I said, my goal is to inspire you, friends. Have a great day now. Bye, planner friends.